Hello everyone and welcome to our week 5 project update. We are Team Cypher. The members will be presenting is Jean Litema and I Nelson Mchonji. The other members, Judith Mutisia and Eli Waga, they couldn't make for this presentation due to internet connectivity issues. So I'll take you through the first part and its introduction. So this week we based on human resource system in detail. And basically the human resource is a key system in an organization as it helps the organization to keep track of their employees, to manage them, and also to handle the various tasks in relation to the employees and the other stakeholders. So the next will be a project description, and the human resource system that we are proposing for Africa working, it will help them to manage the human capital. So the human resource system is key in building a good team of any working organization, as it will help the human resource department in recruiting and training the employees to handle the payroll system, to manage the employee database with efficiency, and to manage the performance of the employees according to their strengths and skills. So I'll invite Jean to take us through the next. Jean, welcome.
Thank you, Nelson. So I'll take you through the objectives of the human resource system. The following are the objectives. Number one is to assist in the recruitment and training of new employees. So, of course, in the future or even now, there'll be need for new staff, and thus the HR system comes in to recruit and train and perform induction for new employees. Number two is to handle the payroll system. So, having an automated payroll system will reduce error risks such as salaries being given, probably people being underpaid or mistakes being made in people's salary. So having an automated system will reduce this greatly. Number three is to manage overall performance. So in this case, we meant that the managers will be able to know the skills and know more about the staff. Thus use this information during promotions and even other things. Lastly is to manage the employees database. This is the database where the records and data of the employees, useful data will be stored. This is for future reference and also for maximum security of the data.
The deliverables that we went through based on this, we had the products and services that will be delivered by this project, and they include a payroll system to assist in the pay process by automating it, encompassing all employee-related transactions, and these transactions will include the tax reports, the deductions among the various employees. So I'll go to the next, which is project time management plan, and the human resource system that we are proposing. It will take a span of 3 months to be deployed and fully to be part of the Africa Working website. So the software will be acquired and taken to Africa Working for testing before it can be deployed. So the testing period that we checked will last for around 1 month, and the first month will be subdivided into weeks, where in 1 month is composed of 4 weeks. So these weeks will be subdivided into phases, where a phase is composed of 7 days, totaling to 1 full week.
So this is what we discussed on the project cost management. Africa Working Manager, the Africa Working Manager plus the other project sponsors have the full mandate to decide on the project financial matters. For example, whether the project funding should be increased or reduced. So after they go through the plan and the budget, the sponsors and the manager should have a say. And additionally, they are also in charge of the management of the project costs. For Africa Working to control cost process, our firm has highly recommended the Project Management Institute ideas on certain tools and techniques. For example, variance analysis, performance review, forecast, and true complete performance index. So we recommend that they do this in this. They do all of this in cost management in order to be effective. So on the project scope management, the human resource management software should be purchased by procurement department in Africa Working under the guidance of our firm, as we have expertise in this sector. So the HR system should be maintained on a yearly basis to determine whether there are any elements or loopholes. This will make the system up and running and effective, even in its functions and overall performance.
We tabulated our human resource system milestone, and on September 1st, we shall look at the system requirements, and based on that, the system requirements are approved for design to begin. And then on October 1st is the system design, and the system design is complete and approved. On November 1st, it's the system development, and system development is accomplished. And finally, on February 1st, it is now the period for testing and deployment, and the system must pass through the testing phase so that it can be deployed for production in the organization. So next is on risk. Risk identified in the human resource system that you are proposing. So the first risk is loss or violation of intellectual property, and in that case, it can be very sensitive data within the organization. So if you have a sensitive data such that the data is not handled well and it's exposed to frauditors, it can lead to damaging of the brands and also to huge fines. So another one is risk mitigation that we came up with for the first risk. And the risk mitigation: should any staff have a responsibility for very sensitive data, the human resource should ensure that employees are well engaged through induction and also training. So the second risk was lack of insurance, and in that case, insurance benefits and other employee benefits can fail to be in place. And the risk mitigation for that is to ensure that data is kept up to date and the employees are insured. So the third risk, it's unethical behavior, and we all know that what ethics means in any organization. So when ethical is breached, then it can lead to serious damage of the brand of any organization, and for this case, Africa Working. And the risk mitigation for that, the human resource needs to bring a culture whereby ethics, they are really held highly in the organization. So a code of conduct should be established, and also ethics committee should be designed for that. So the last risk is non-compliance of regulations, and any organization that breaches the compliance of regulation in a way that they engage in bribery, then the law must take its fullness. And the mitigation for that is to provide adequate information about compliance issues during the training and induction.
So the following is what discussed on communications management. We established that clear lines and channels of communication should be defined. Should an issue arise, maybe an emergency, it should be said who should be informed immediately, so that you don't have everyone in the organization just throwing information to and from. Let the right people be told and the right action be taken. So Africa Working should have the communication channels in place to avoid unnecessary risk that will also interfere with the normal functioning of Africa Working. The following was discussed under procurement managing. Africa Working should do the following. Number one, identify the needs of the organization. That is, find out what the company needs in order to achieve its goals. Number two is to find and qualify the suppliers of the identified needs. So after you have identified your needs as Africa Working, find people who are qualified in that sector to provide what you need, whether it's product or service. And then number three, do your purchase from trusted people. So thank you so much for listening, and for any inquiries, any questions, or any comments, kindly feel free to contact us, our firm, Cypher. Thank you.